don't need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
Lydia, thanks for writing in. You're writing in from Georgia, and you say, "Hi, Betsy. I've been listening for years and I adore your podcast. Your voice soothes me when I'm anxious, and I love the escape your podcast provides. My husband and I signed a contract with an interior designer for her to provide us with existing plans of our house as well as renovation plans. They've so far provided inaccurate existing plans twice, and the renovation plans are based on those inaccurate existing plans. We blew the plans up to the same size, laid them on top of each other, and there are major differences between them. The renovation is all interior and will not include any exterior changes. Basically, we've paid $6,000 for nothing we can actually use. The inaccuracies are off by a foot here, 2 feet there. Some measurements are so off that the renovation design of an entire wing of our house is not possible because of these discrepancies. We've given them the chance to make this right, and now we have a final set of plans from them that are grossly wrong. How should we proceed? In our contract, it says that the designer will not refund the client if the designer is in breach of the contract. The designer has a great reputation and only glowing 5-star reviews. Do we just have to eat this cost? We are so sad that we've gone through this whole ordeal, paid so much money, and now have nothing to show for it. We don't want to spend any more time, money, or energy with this designer, and we really want our money back. Thank you, Betsy." Oh my goodness, Lydia. I am really sorry to hear about this. And, in a service-based business, there are good providers and there are bad providers. Just like, with a product-based business, there are good toasters and there are bad toasters, right? And sometimes we get that lemon. Well, the same is true with a service provider. When somebody is inaccurate, when there are problems, you want to first let them know. It always bugs me when a client comes to me, maybe because a different designer at our firm didn't get them, didn't understand the vision, didn't clearly give them what they were hoping for. Maybe they didn't closely look at the inspiration pictures or something like that. And instead of going to the designer, they come to me, right? You have to share this concern with the direct service provider to give them a chance to fix it. It sounds like you've definitely done that. It sounds like they even revised and came up with a new draft, but it's still inaccurate. Now, in this case, this is not something where it's just a matter of taste, where they just didn't understand your style and they've revised and they're still not getting it. These are technical inaccuracies. These are, numbers that are wrong. I would want you to circle back again. If you're not able to use these drawings, if they are so inaccurate that you basically have nothing to work with, I would give them another opportunity. And maybe you need to bring in someone else, like the architect, the contractor, whoever is telling you that these are not workable plans. I think you, the interior designer, and this other person who's told you these plans are not workable should all sit down, whether it's on Zoom, whether, of course, in person is always best, whether it's in person, so that if the interior designer says, well, just because it's off a foot here doesn't mean you're not able to use it, you're not the middleman then having to tell the contractor, and the contractor says, hey, actually, I can't use this. That way you're all together and the designer can really see that these are not workable plans for you. If the designer refuses to budge, if the designer refuses to revise again, and it sounds like you don't even want to give the designer an opportunity to revise again, then the last recourse, even though I would let them have one more go at it, frankly. The last recourse in my mind is small claims court. Small claims court only covers you, at least in the state of New York, up to $5,000. And you will want to get that third party, that contractor, to sign off and say, hey, these are unusable plans. I cannot do work based on these plans. But that's the next step. And I would let the interior designer know that that's the step you're going to be taking. So they have an opportunity to course correct, because you don't really want it to go there. Small claims court is very affordable. I've had to go there 3 times in my 16-year career. It's very affordable, but it's time. It's time spent filing. It's time spent going to the courthouse. It's time spent speaking with a mediator, potentially going back to the courthouse if the interior designer does not show up. I mean, it is lengthy and drawn out. So you have to really pick your battles. But if you give them that third opportunity and it's still incorrect, then that's where I would go with it. Also, you want to let them know that you'll need to be leaving them negative reviews. So I would circle back with this interior designer, let them know my next steps I would be taking would be small claims court, would be leaving negative reviews so that you can alert others to this situation rather than having these positive reviews not truly reflect what's going on. And then I would give them time to respond. And if they haven't responded in a satisfactory way, I would move forward with those steps. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun. You did your due diligence. You tried your best. Crap happens. And I will let you know that I have been burned a number of times. It doesn't feel good. And I'm sorry you're going through this. And I'm certainly sorry that you're going through this with someone from our industry. Whenever I go through a situation like this, I reflect and I say, you know, what can I learn from this so that when I'm choosing my contractor, when I'm choosing my tile vendor, when I'm doing another renovation in the future, I don't make the same mistake again, because I've been burned pretty bad. On my own home improvement project, we had a big kerfuffle with a contractor who ghosted us after receiving our last payment. And I just feel for you, Lydia. My heart goes out to you, and I hope that some of the things I mentioned turn out to be a big help. Please keep us posted. A big thank you to our amazing producer, Catherine Heller, to Aton and the MCR House Band, and to Affordable Interior Design, the sponsor of this podcast and the premier place to get an amazing look on a budget. Check out affordableinteriordesign.com. If you guys love the show, the very best way to support us is by spreading the word. Tell your friends or write us an awesome review on iTunes. So until next week, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.